Hi, Shalom. My name is Malakah. I am the owner of Nuts About Butters, and you are now tuned in to Maccabeestv. I am also proud to announce that we do have a new channel. It's called Sisters of the Maccabees. It is a channel for the sisters. Okay, so tuned in, subscribe. The link will be down in the description box. Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom family. Welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. It's your brother Priest Danyaahla, and as you can see by today's topic, we're talking about asthma. The reason why I felt compelled to talk about asthma today is A, because it's an illness that's ravaging our community. That's pretty obvious. But B, it's about a year ago, this time, that one of the elders in my camp, Brother Danyaahla, his brother, Manashah, who was also a member of our camp, died of complications from asthma. And the sad part about it is, with the advent of information, and we are living in the information age, there is so much information out there that can help you combat and even defeat asthma. It's curable, despite what your doctors tell you. Many people don't know that the elder priest Bonloya also suffered from asthma a lot. He was hooked onto a bunch of medicines, and he lived on that pump as well. I watched him. I've seen people die of asthma attacks, literally. There was one particular lady I know who had asthma, and she died of a heart attack. Why? Because she had panicked when she couldn't breathe. She panicked, and she went into cardiac arrest, and she died. These things are curable. Now, normally I don't share too much personal stuff about myself, but I don't mind sharing things that can help my nation and my community. Many people don't know, as an adolescent and a teen, I had asthma bad. When I say bad, I can remember back when I was an adolescent, my mother, when she was alive, she would be taking me to the hospital to get triage at least once a month. If you don't know what the triage unit is in the hospital, that's when you go in there and they give you that mist. Okay, they put that mask on you, and the smoke, you're inhaling that up your nose and down your throat, and it's supposed to loosen up your esophagus where you could breathe a little better. I was in there once a month as an adolescent. When I became a teenager, my asthma attacks weren't as frequent, but I still suffered from it a lot. So I was very inclined to athletics, but I wasn't able to participate in a lot of athletics in high school because I couldn't run too far without having to stop and catch my breath. You see? So I thought asthma was a lifelong chain. That's what the doctors told me. That's what the doctors told me, that I would never be able to outgrow that. That I'd be taking all those asthma medicines and the pumps for the rest of my life. And so when I hit my 20s, my asthma just seemed to disappear for whatever reason. I wasn't having asthma attacks anymore. But here's what I was doing. My diet was horrible in my 20s. I mean, I was at McDonald's. During my 20s is when they introduced that daggone dollar menu. And I was on that dollar menu at McDonald's like it was nobody's business. KFC, Popeyes, you name it. Just eating junk. And before I knew it, my asthma got bad again. And for the next 10 years, throughout my 20s into my 30s, I was having asthma attacks all the time. It was so bad that a young lady I used to work with, she had a hookup with them damn asthma pumps, man. You know, if you didn't have health insurance, them asthma pumps is like $50, $60. But old girl, she had a little, she had asthma bad too, and she had a hookup with the pumps. So I was only paying $5, man. So I used to stock up on those things like Tylenols. Bring her 20 and get 5, because I was about to go through one pump maybe in 2 weeks. And people don't know that them asthma pumps, they speed up your heart rate. You could have a heart attack. Anyway, I'm getting to a point with that. So about 4 to 5 years ago, I had contracted pneumonia. Okay? I had contracted pneumonia. And I was in the hospital, and they put me in the intensive care unit for having pneumonia. They said I had the flu, and one of the side effects of all those things was I was having an asthma attack. So they pumped me up with medicine real good. Real good. Now, the doctor had told me outright that if I had come to the hospital one day later than when I came, I would have died. And so I began to take my health real serious again. And so what I did was I changed my diet. I changed my diet because I already knew from studying that dairy was one of the biggest triggers for asthma. And I love me some dairy, man. You couldn't tell me nothing about no cheese. You couldn't tell me nothing about no pastries with frosting on the top or frosting in the middle or whatever it was. You couldn't tell me nothing about that, man. I love that. And I didn't even realize that I was killing myself. All right? And the scriptures even tell you about that in the Apocrypha. It tells you about too many dainties. It talks about that. It talks about too many meats and other things. So I almost killed myself by eating all these foods that I shouldn't be eating. So what I did was I cut the dairy out of my diet. I started taking herbs again. Some of the herbs that I was taking was ginger. I was on a lot of garlic. I was taking a lot of cinnamon. I was taking a lot of nutmeg. I was drinking different things for my asthma. You know what I'm saying? To really clean out my esophagus and to clean out my system. And I was able to overcome my asthma, because the key for this thing is not only do you need to cut certain things out your diet, but what a lot of us do it, is that once we cut something out of our diet and we feel better, we go right back to eating the same things that we were eating before. And then the symptoms come right back. So for the last 4 to 5 years, I haven't had an asthma attack. Now, granted, a lot of y'all see me in the gym. You're like, oh, but I see you in the gym lifting and stuff like that. I used to go to the gym and be having an asthma attack between sets. Yeah, that's right. I would have my asthma pump in my pocket in the gym. And between sets when nobody was looking, and lift weights, because I love exercise. I love to do it. I was killing myself. But for the last 4 to 5 years, I have not had an asthma attack because I changed my diet. I changed the way I eat. And I take a lot of herbs. And, you know, as I always say, herbs are not to be taken just when you're feeling sick. Because a lot of times, by the time you're feeling sick, you are too far gone in the illness to take an herb. The herb is not going to help you. A lot of people wait till they have an illness, then they take an herb. They go, oh, the herbs don't work. No, that's not the way it works. You got to take the herbs to prevent getting sick. That's the point. A lot of times, when you're already sick, then you have to take that conventional medicine to feel better and then get on the herbs. When I was in the hospital, that's what I had to do. I had to take the conventional medicines that they gave me, which gave me a ton of side effects, which is a whole nother show. It gave me a ton of side effects, and afterwards, when I got better, I started taking the herbs again, and I've been taking them ever since. And I'm also thankful to the Most High that my wife has the same mindset that I had. And just to pretty much, before I pass it off to her, she's going to give her testimony as well. It's funny because when we met each other and I was in that transition period, when I met her, she had asthma too, right? And it was to the point where we were sharing each other's pumps. If I had a pump, she was using it. If she had a pump, I was using it. If we didn't have a pump, we was assed out. And it's curable. All right, family? So we're going to have a lot of videos on this channel that goes into that. I just wanted to give my little testimony to y'all to let y'all know that it's curable, it's doable. And a lot of brothers and sisters are out there and you have the asthma, and if you think that there's no way out, then you really need to contact us, man. Go to our Facebook group called Healthy Hebrews. All right? If you have any questions about health or specifically this particular topic, drop a question and then we'll answer you. My wife will answer you, I'll answer you, somebody else in the group will answer you. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Delves has videos on asthma as well. You know, it's very, very curable. Our people do not have to be dropping dead and keeling over or are hooked on to medicines for the rest of their life with asthma when it's very, very curable. All right, family? And
can we just explain how often these herbs need to be ingested?
You have to take herbs every day. Every day you should be ingesting some type of herb. You should be drinking some type of tea, something, some supplement, some mineral, some vitamins, something. And I'm not talking about the ones that come from the vitamin shop. I'm not talking about GNC. I'm not talking about Dwayne Reed. I'm talking about natural stuff. Okay? There's plenty of herbal shops all over the place that you can buy herbs. Plenty of places. Y'all know about Nicholas. You'll know Joel sells those. There's plenty of places online. All right? I'm not too picky. If you could get your hands on the actual leaves itself, try to do it. But if you can't, you can get the powders, get those. But do something. Ingest some type of herb every day. I know sometimes people get so tired of hearing myself and my wife talk about this stuff, but we're living proof.
We're not sick.
We're living proof. Okay? People all the time are amazed when I tell them how old I am. Just the other day on my job, somebody asked me how old I was, and I told them, and they couldn't believe it. When I go to the gym, when I tell y'all that the young boys be coming to the gym telling me they want to do what I do, that's no lie. When they see what I'm lifting, when I'm doing the dips, and I got 2 plates, 3 plates doing dips, okay, they be like, yo, I want to do that. You see what I'm saying? It's a blessing to get to my age, because a lot of people that I came up with in high school and different things, they died. Either they died in them streets, or they died, you know, from diseases or illnesses that could have been prevented. You see what I'm saying? And lastly, I want to say this real quick, because I don't want this video to be too long. I want to allow my wife to come in. When we ask the Most High to heal us, a lot of times we're waiting for the skies to part, and we're going to see a long black arm with a magic wand reach through the clouds, okay? And that long black magic arm is going to make you better. That's not the way the Most High works. Nor should we be waiting because Christ is not here right now on the scene, for those of us that are messianic, that we're going to wait till Christ come to get better. No, by the Most High giving you information about health, information about cures, that is the same as the Most High curing you. Because you have people that die without ever having that information. So if the Most High makes it possible where that information comes across your path, that is the Lord healing you. Take that information, use it, and run with it, and give thanks to the Most High. And with that, I say shalom to the family. I'm going to let my wife come on, and she's going to give her testimony. Shalom.
Shalom. I'm Sister Malakah. And as you can see, I am standing outside in my yard. I'm surrounded by grass and trees and everything. 17 years ago, well actually 18 years ago, I came here from Jamaica, and I wasn't able to do this. Well, a few years after I came here, I wasn't able to do this because I developed asthma right after I came to this country. Okay? I'm not sure what, well, we all know what caused it. I remember taking the flu vaccine a few years after I came here, and before I came to this country, I never drank milk, even though I grew up on a, you know, my family plantation. We have cows and all the other animals. I really never liked cow's milk. So I really never drank milk until I came to this country. When I came here, my diet completely changed, okay? And started, you know, eating a lot of junk food, and a few years after that, I just developed asthma and allergy, and it was terrible, 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 terrible. I couldn't come outside, and I was back and forth to the emergency room almost every day. You know, I was taking steroids, I mean, lots of steroids, and you know, that asthma pump. So I suffered with that for a while. Well, listen, as you guys can see, I'm outside, so I don't have asthma anymore, I don't have allergy anymore. I'm going to tell you how I suffered for years with asthma and allergies. Okay, walking around, just couldn't go outside. I used to do a lot of jogging, and when I come home at night, I just couldn't sleep. I would be back and forth to the emergency room, just suffering, and it was just horrible, just horrible.
So what did you do? Because asthma is ravaging our community. So what did you do? What are the steps that you took in order to beat the asthma and beat the allergies? Because the doctors say it's not possible.
Well, let me say this first, right? You can stop something, but if you go back to the same lifestyle that you had, it'll come right back. So what I did was I changed my lifestyle. The number one thing that I did was change my eating habit, okay? I started researching what asthma was and what was causing my asthma. You know, because I had an understanding that in order for you to fix something, you have to find out what's causing it. You got to figure out the cause. So I had to figure out what was causing me to have asthma and allergies. And one of the things that I find out is that not only, you know, it was a small percentage of it has to do with the environment,
it has a lot to do with what you are putting inside of here, okay, inside your body. So I stopped eating dairy. I mean, I used to love yogurt, okay? I used to love yogurt. I stopped eating dairy. I stopped eating processed food. I'm gonna sit here. I stopped eating processed food. Like, listen, when I came here from Jamaica, I used to eat, you know, a lot of cereal because this is what was available to me, you know. You come, your family is here, you eat what they have in the house. And that's pretty much what I was doing. I was having milk and cereal for breakfast and eggs and, you know, just a whole bunch of processed food.
Bagels with cream cheese.
I've never had those things back home, and I felt the change, the shift in the way that my body felt. I just got sick, and next thing you know, I was having breathing issues. I couldn't go outside. You know, I was getting hives. I mean, it was just horrible. You know, at night I couldn't sleep. I was wheezing. I was back and forth to the emergency room. And so what happened was, as I researched, I started to learn about alternative medicine that you can, you know, to eliminate the toxin, because
here's another thing, not to cut you off, here's another thing that exaggerates people's asthma a lot. These guys, cats. A lot of people can't be around cats that are asthmatic, but
and we have 2 of them.
You have 2. So
years ago, I couldn't be around cats. Yeah, so now we have 2 cats. So what I understand was that my body was filled with toxic, and my immune system was weak. You know, during my research, this is what I learned. Okay, that if you have a weak immune system and your body is filled with toxin, you're unable to fight off what's attacking you from the outside, the environment, right? So if you build up the immune system is able to fight off what's attacking it from the outside. Simple logics, right? So I started using alternative, you know, obviously like I said, I used to take a lot of steroids and other medication, and so one year, what happened was, around fall was when I decided that I was no longer going to be taking the steroid, because every year I would take a box of steroid that was prescribed for me to me by my doctor, right? And I would have to take it during the springtime, like around March. I'd have to take it for about 7 days, and that steroid will last in my body the entire year, and I wouldn't get asthma and allergy. But it was also messing with me and giving me side effects, you know, steroids. So in the fall of one year, I decided that I was going to do something different. I decided that I wasn't going to take that steroid anymore. So I started taking black seed oil. That was the first thing that I started doing. I started taking black seed oil, and then I started doing flushes.
Do you have any?
I do have black seed oil.
Okay.
I have a bottle of black seed oil in my cupboard there. So I started taking the black seed oil. I started doing regular flushes, and as I did my research, you know, because back home, you know that you're eating good stuff, but you don't understand what the medicinal properties are. You know, they don't really teach you these things back home. You know, you have access to all the good stuff back in the Caribbean, but one of the things that a lot of people don't know is just what these things are good for. So as I did my research, you know, I started educating myself on the medicinal properties of a lot of things that that we eat. You know, cinnamon, nutmeg, you know, ginger. If you were suffering from allergies, hay fever, any type of inflammation, respiratory issue, you should be taking these things every day. And when I started researching and educating myself, those are the things that I take every day. So not only was I taking the black seed oil, I was taking a lot of cinnamon, I was taking a lot of nutmeg, I was ingesting a lot of ginger. You know, I started drinking more sea moss and stuff like that. And like I said, I was doing regular flushes. And so I started that 1 year around fall, right? And I said I was going to prepare my body for the springtime, because I know that's when my allergy starts and my asthma. And so March came around, and I attempted to take the steroid that was prescribed to me, because like I said, my doctor used to prescribe it every year. And I started to take it, and then I decided not to, right? And I just wanted to see what was going to happen if I don't take it, because I've been doing my flushes and taking all these herbs. And so March came around, April came around, May came around, June came around, and I noticed that I was not getting any, I wasn't wheezing, I wasn't getting any short of breath. I was able to go outside and spend time outside with no problem. And that year was the beginning of my healing, because my asthma, allergies, I haven't had an issue since then, since that year. Since that fall, when I decided to change everything about the way that I eat, and started doing regular flushes, and started taking herbs and different spices, and that was it. That was it.
Excellent testimony to show people that there is hope, because the doctors say no, but we know that that's just to keep people going back and forth to the pharmacy. You know, that makes these corporations millions of dollars year in and year out. So this video was pretty much just to give people hope that something can be done if you're really serious about healing. That asthma thing is a hell of an illness, and I have it myself. And I'm going to give my testimony next. I had it myself. I take that back.
Let me say this, right? People who are on steroids for allergies and asthma, yes, you know, you do get, see, it's that instant relief that people enjoy, you know. But what is that steroid doing for you? You know, and then you have to keep taking it, because it doesn't, after a while, it doesn't work. And then you have to keep taking it again. It's
just like a band-aid over a bullet wound.
So you're not really fixing the problem. You're just putting a mask over your problem. What I needed to do was find the cause of my allergy and asthma. And it has nothing to do with the trees. The trees are going to be trees. The grass are going to be grass. The cats are going to be cat. But if your immune system is not strong enough to fight off what's attacking it, then, you know, that's the problem. So you have got to build up and strengthen the immune system. And how do you do that? You do that by eating food that feeds the immune system in a positive way. So how do you build up the immune system? Okay, how do you help the immune system to fight off all these toxin and chemical? You stop eating food that's making you sick, that's making you allergic to your cats or the grass or the trees, because that's pretty much what's happening. It's really not, it has nothing to do with the trees. It's really what's going on your inside. Okay, so you want to build up the immune system by eating food, taking certain herbs and spices that is going to build up your immune system and help the immune system to fight off, you know, the stuff that's attacking your body from the outside. All right. So again, like I said, your allergy really is not, your problem is really not the grass. You know, like the white man like to say, oh, the grass and the cats and the dander and the bushes and whatever. Your problem is not outside. Your problem is not the trees and the grass. Your problem is your stomach. That's what your problem is, your stomach. because I'm able to be outside. I'm outside right now, and I'm outside every day. I'm outside planting, you know, I sit outside all the time, and I'm good. I'm no longer, I haven't taken any type of medication in years. I haven't gone to the emergency room in years, and that's because of what I do. I just eat the right thing.
All right, that's pretty good. Now, one last thing before you close out, like your normal close out. Explain to people that, you know, you have this saying all the time, and I want you to elaborate on it real quick. You say you don't just take herbs to get better, but you take herbs
for prevention.
Meaning?
Okay. If I don't want to get, which I don't have any illness that I know of, okay, and I go to the doctor and they, you know, get my checkup and test and whatever, I don't have any known illness. But as you guys can see that I take herb every single day. There's not a day that I go by that I don't take some type of herbs or spices, something, okay? And the reason for that is I'm not trying to get type 2 diabetes. I'm not trying to have liver issue or kidney problem. I'm not trying to be on dialysis. So when you are taking herb, you don't have to take herb because you're sick. You're taking herb to try to prevent illness. That's the reason for taking herbs. If someone gets up every day and do the right thing by eating food that they're supposed to eat and take the herbs, you don't have to worry about getting diabetes and type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure and, you know, going on dialysis, because those things are happening because you're not taking care of your body. It's as simple as that. So, as my grandmother liked to say, prevention is better than cure. So, don't wait to get sick. Right. Take the herbs, eat the right food, and 9 times out of 10, you'll be fine. And even if you were to get sick, when you're doing the right thing, it really lessens the chance of you getting sick. Or it lessens the severity impact of the illness.
Right.
So that's why I take herb. I take herb because I don't want to be 70 years old suffering from... My grandmother is in her 90s and she doesn't have any of this illness. Because she does the right thing. You know, she gets up and she does the right thing every day. If she dies, she's dying of old age. Not because she's sick, because she's 90-something and she runs around the house and plant her little garden. You know, she's good. And that's because she does the right thing, like I said. So, with that, I'm going to say shalom again.